Connor, Jack, Coach D's always saying, just win, baby. I don't think he made that up, but I guess that's what your feeling is today, right?
Yeah, definitely. This is a hard conference to play in, and this just shows how hard it is to get a win every Saturday. You don't just go out there and they're not handed out. You got to earn them, and we had to earn it at the end of the game.
Connor, Jack.
For sure. I mean, Purdue's a tough team. We knew they had a good defense coming into the game. And collectively, they're just a good team. Offensively, they lost some close ones, but they're right in it. And like, Jack just said, it's a tough conference, and nothing's guaranteed. Everyone's going to be giving us their best shot each and every week. And we got to bring our A game. And there's one thing that we got to do is just, continue to focus on finishing.
Connor, Jack, Finley comes off the field, injured, carted off. What are the first thoughts that are going through your guys' head with another injured offensive lineman now?
I would just say seeing one of your good friends going down out there, that's something sad, and it's sad to see one of your guys go down, but once he was carted off and everything like that, we kind of just had to rally back together and worry about the rest of the game and talk to Dennis after.
Yeah, you can't let anything like that get to you during the game. It's so unfortunate for Dennis. We feel so bad for him. He's waited his time, has worked hard, and when he was in, he's done great. He's done a great job, and to see it, something like that happen, it just breaks your heart. But in the heat of the moment, you can't let it get to you. Now's the time. Obviously, we're gonna hit him up and see how he's doing, and feel bad for him. But you can't let that stuff get to you during the game.
Jack, how much left tackle had you rep before today, and how difficult was that to have to do that?
All the fall camp, I do like one-on-ones and stuff against like Shalik and Coop and LT, but this week Coach Staten did a good job of kind of rotating the whole O-line through and jumping from left to right and having everybody play almost every position, so I think we were ready.
Connor, can you talk, I'm sorry if you addressed this already, but can you talk about what it means to you to have the most wins as a quarterback in MSU history? And Jack, can you talk a little bit about just how much you've seen Connor grow and what he means to this program?
It's a great accomplishment, and it means a lot. But, a lot of the credit goes to being on a team with a great defense. In 2013, we won 13 games, and we had a heck of a defense, number one defense in the country. Being on great teams like last year when we had, the explosive offense that we had and the great defense we have, it's credit to, all the guys that are on the team. Football is a team sport. The one word that comes to my mind when you think of football is just together. The togetherness that you have in the locker room, on the field, and it's a 100% team sport. So, it's great to have the most wins as a quarterback in MSU history. But credit goes to my teammates. O-line keeping me protected, allowing me to go through my reads. Having a running back like Jay Lang, rush for all those touchdowns and putting the team on his back when it needed to be on his back. Having a guy like Tony Lippett last year, having guys like Benny Fowler, those guys, to lift you up. And if you're not playing your best game, they can make you look better. So it's just being on great teams like that, the Rose Bowl team, the Cotton Bowl team, a lot of the credit goes to them.
Yeah, he's the guy that we turn to in the huddle, and he's the guy that's out there making the plays. And I guess the offensive line does have a part in it, but that's him. When a coach talks about having a short memory and coming out the next series and doing what you're supposed to do, that's Connor Cook. He comes out. He doesn't care what happened the previous series. He's going to try and score, and he's going to do whatever he can to put us in the right position to win.
Question for Coach Bollman. I wanted to ask you, Coach D'Antonio's referenced the 2002 Ohio State team. Of course, you were part of that too, 7 or 8 wins by 7 points or less. Is that going to be the personality of this team as far as the offense playing it close like this?
Time will tell that. I think the weather had a little bit of effect on us in the second half, not throwing the ball some. It didn't affect Purdue. It didn't seem as much so, but that was a factor. And but I think we were pretty effective running the ball the entire football game. And there were some times when we needed to finish some things off. If we don't get that one football stripped out in the end zone, that could have made things a lot different in that situation. But certainly we hope things don't end up in this fashion every week. But I understand the gist of your question. But I've been through this a million times, and it's great when you're playing with great defense. And a win is a win, and give Purdue credit. They did a great job coming back, and we had some opportunities that we did squander though. We turned the ball over on fourth down on the punt. That was the big thing that really got the whole ball rolling. So, but the defense hung in there and helped us out.
Connor, after the botched punt and their first score, how tough was it to get the engine going again?
It really wasn't that hard. I mean, like Coach Bollman just said, the weather kind of has had a little bit to do with it, just with throwing and stuff and getting into a rhythm. But I mean, it's football. There's ups and downs. It's like a roller coaster ride each and every game. There's no such thing as a perfect football game. There's always going to be bad plays, and it's just how you respond, how you get back. How you get back after it. And I think we did a decent job at the end. Breaking the long runs with LJ and Madre. We just got to capitalize. We got to score in the red zone. And I think if we do that, I don't think we're as worried as we were at the end.
Did you consciously say, I have to make some plays with my feet too? Now I've got to do some things.
Yeah, a little bit had to do with that. I mean, the weather and stuff, maybe not trusting my arm as much and trusting my feet and knowing they're in man coverage. The coaches have been on me, ever since 2013. I'd drop back and, we played Nebraska and they'd be in two-man and no one would account for the quarterback, and Coach Salem would always be like, hey, you got to run. When are you going to run? I mean, it's been going on for the past 2 seasons, and finally I kind of, got out of my shell today and rushed a little bit.
Jim, you mentioned the weather being a factor and not being able to throw the ball as well. Was the weather and Dennis Finley being out, did you guys discuss being more conservative in the second half because of those 2 situations?
Well, no. If you notice the first possession we had the second half, we threw it a couple times, and we weren't successful. But then we just, when you get into a rhythm of running the ball like we did in many of our possessions in the second half, as I'm recalling, we moved the ball pretty good, and sometimes you're not going to take it all the way the length of the field, but there were a couple times we came out of the hole and were able to punt from midfield, change the field position a lot. And then there were some other times we drove down the length of the field, but ended up short, missed a field goal the one time, and as I mentioned, had a touchdown pass that, we should have completed and we didn't. So those are things we certainly have to improve on. But on the other hand, it was good to be able to run the ball the way we did.
Harlan, you look lonely up there.
I'm fine. You guys are doing great as far as I'm concerned.
Tell me how your heart was doing on that fourth down holding call on Arjun, and then he came back and made another fourth down play a moment later, which was kind of significant.
So how was my heart? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, when that call was made, what'd you think?
Well, my heart is really strong now being in Michigan State football over the last several years. I told people before, and Hondo heard me say it yesterday at the Downtown Coaches, we're the #1 drama on TV. We got good writers. Our writers are too good. We got to get some bad writers so we're not a big-time drama. But that's who we are. That's what we do. And, we don't like it. But my heart, to answer the question, is very strong because over the last several years, we've had a lot of close games. Credit to our guys, though, being able to pull them out and keep fighting and keep pushing.
What did you think about Arjun on that last play, the pass breakup on hold down? Prior to that, he had a pass breakup also, but apparently holding earlier. His plays those last 2 weeks.
I thought they were good. I had to watch the film, obviously. That was to the naked eye. I'm up in the booth. But I thought they were both good plays. And good for him. He's been here, 5th-year senior, the guy that's been looking for his opportunity to play, and he performed. So I'm really happy for him.
Connor, you guys come out for the second half. It's 21-0. It's cold and rainy, but there are about 30,000 people left. Do you guys notice that? Does that change the atmosphere and the emotion behind what you guys are doing?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you notice that the crowd isn't as loud and there are less people in the stands, but I mean, like I said, Dennis going out, you can't let stuff like that get to you in the heat of the moment. The crowd, you just got to play through it. You can't let stuff like that get to you. If you do, then you're mentally weak and you don't belong out there playing. So if you're out there playing football and you let outside things get to you and affect the outcome of the game or affect the way you play, you don't belong playing out there.
Harlan, last year they killed you on the bubble, and this year you rolled that field safety up closer to the line, and quite frankly, they looked for it a few times and it wasn't there. Great adjustment on your part, and how well did Darian play today? Because it seemed like he just really played one of his best games.
Well, that was something that we focused on in the offseason. We saw how people were trying to attack us, them in particular, because looked at last year's game. They threw 10 bubbles on us last year. And so we knew that was one of the adjustments. We actually made that adjustment in last year's game at a point in time. So we knew immediately, as soon as they did it, we're going to go make that adjustment. All the guys knew it and got it done. So credit to Darian. He was anticipating that, and I'm surprised they actually went back to it. I thought they would have just had a different adjustment or something like that. But they did try it and see if we got it corrected, and good for them. And they saw that we did. So I'm happy for him. He did a really good job. Darian played really. That's what I'm saying. He played really well. A game I know as he looked at the film from last year, he was like, I have to redeem myself a little bit here, based on how they were trying to attack me. And so I thought he did a really good job. Probably had his best game of this year so far.
Just to follow up, Harlan, on the 68-yard run, was that a gap issue or was there a misalignment? What happened on that run by?
On the long run?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a gap issue, not to call anybody out, but, a guy should have got, missed his gap, didn't execute the defense properly. And, and on the other end, I thought, hey, we were staying base, just doing our base thing, do what we do. And, tried to make a call to, just to change up a little bit. And maybe, I could have made this, stay base, and do what we do. But at the same time, the defense still has to get executed, whatever's called.